there's a new book out by Patty Kay and Claire Shipman called The Confidence Code. And it's an easy read. It's got some good stats, and it talks about how women are competent, but they hesitate to be confident. The Confidence Code. Okay, are you ready? Yeah?
I'm Kathy Lagarde, and I'm from Wakehead Women's Leadership Academy. I'm in 9th grade. So our mission statement was the mission of the Women and Girls Initiative is to inform and empower girls and women for success. Our purpose is to inspire a lifetime of confident, competent, and courageous girls and women. We do this through networking, dialogue, exchange, mentoring, and collaborating by intentionally living our best selves. Lots.
Very good.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Raymond Dallas Stanley. I'm the Native American Ambassador for all youth tribes of North Carolina. I'm in the 11th grade in high school, and our mission statement is to empower North Carolina women of all ages for personal and professional success. Our purpose is to develop future leaders, and we do this by actively encouraging, mentoring, and supporting our sisters.
Very good. I propose we send all of these with you and let you and your staff either use one or all of them, rather than for us to try to sort through them. Is that okay with you? It is true. All right, very good. Now, once around, little pop-up time. What did you learn today? What are you going to walk away with? What are you going to tell your mother that you learned today? Or your father, or your brother? Those of you who have mothers with you don't have mothers. What'd you learn? What's your aha? This is the interactive part. Yes.
Important thing for me is sometimes you just have to sit back and listen.
Sit back and listen.
And take in some wisdom.
Okay, very good. Who else? Yes?
I think it was important today that I took away to lead by example for young women and girls.
Okay. Lead by example. Who else? Yes?
I'm the president of my school's SAD Club, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions.
Yes.
And I've written down a lot of things to take back to them because we're trying to branch out and do more than just drugs and drinking. We're kind of trying to go to cyberbullying and what it means to be gender stereotyped and what it means to live in a rape culture, which we live in now.
Excellent.
So I have got a lot of ideas to take back. I want to do some workshops.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Who else? Yes. What it means to have a voice. She said that.
I'm just really excited about the next generation of women and girls that are coming up.
Okay.
I'm really excited. It sounds just awesome.
And wasn't it fun? Yes, Becky.
I was going to say that, I guess as one of the adults in the room, I recognize I can't necessarily take my rise for granted because I look at a lot of these girls and I remember being lucky enough to be in a room with women like this, and that's how I got where I am. So I think I had a reflective kind of like nostalgic moment that I need to make sure that everything that was poured into me, I really do. I don't have children, I have a dog, that's my child. So I need to make sure I'm pouring that into like somebody else.
Excellent. Thank you.
Just one second, Betsy. Can I stop you right there? This is Mama.
Yes.
Yes, and just in case no one, she is the director. She's with the Attorney General's office. We brought her in today. Specifically, she's an expert in social media. And so when we were working on our human trafficking event, we brought her in and she was able to share things that was just amazing. And so I wanted to make sure that we take that time out and recognize you. And thank you so much for coming. But she's absolutely, if you need someone to be a part of what's going on in your schools or your organizations regarding social media, she has a story herself to tell about how she was supernaturally set aside from being chosen, being involved in social media as a young teenager, doing things that her parents asked her not to do while they were not there. She decided to do it anyway, but somehow supernaturally she didn't get engaged in it. It's a compelling story, and it's something that maybe perhaps either she could share that or it's something that she perhaps may have on a website that you can share your story. And tell us your name again.
It's not to the birds, and I'm thoroughly embarrassed.
So I was particularly inspired by Dr. Wilkins' presentation as a student hoping to enter STEM disciplines one day. And I think, with all of the things we learned today, I think it's just important for all of the students here to take away that, we can do it. We can put our minds to it. And there's no one who can tell us that just because we're a girl, we can't do anything else.
Because you always get to choose. You always get to choose. That was good. Who else? Anybody else? Yes?
I think what we learned is there's a lot of work to be done, but definitely it can be done, especially with all these ideas going around. And if we work hard, we can definitely achieve it.
Very good. Well, yes, at the back.
I was really excited when Ms. Teresa was saying that it's important for women to empower one another and not compete with one another. I think that's a beautiful thing. A lot of us don't really work together as much as we should.
Okay.
So,
Very good. Thanks. Anybody else?
Behind you.
Oh, hello, Mason.
I think that mentioned that in school, it teaches the girls not to hesitate to voice their opinions.
Not to hesitate and to voice their opinions. Yes, Chief?
This actually reminds me of my 50th birthday party. And I didn't have a birthday party to celebrate me, but I invited 50 women whose shoulders I've stood on.
Wow.
And the one thing that I take away from events like this is the necessity for us as women to pay it forward and find another woman or young girl to lift up in some way. Small or great, but paying it forward.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
I just have renewed energy and renewed hope. Sometimes the struggle of being a public servant to a degree can wear you down. You get discouraged because you feel like you're not making a big enough impact. But today, I feel rejuvenated.
Yeah! And she drove up from Charlotte. Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Nora Dow Stanley. I am Raven's mom, which is very proud of, but we are here representing the Native American community, and I work with Native American women. So we talked in our group about forming relationships, and we have a youth conference every year, so I will be taking a lot of these ideas. I will be contacting many of you about possibly working with me of doing a workshop for our young Native American women at our conference that comes up in June.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Yes?
Well, I just want to say as far as when it comes to empowerment, like if we're saying that we want to be empowered and we want to be recognized as equal, we're going to have to keep that stance all the time and not keep flip-flopping when it suits you. You want to be empowered today, but then tomorrow you want to be victim, then the next day you want to be helpless, and the next day you want to be empowered. Don't work like that.
So we want to add a C word, consistency,
Yes.
courage,
Yes.
competence, confident, and consistent. Yes.
And I think to tie into what she said, I think one of the key things we need to take away with is making sure when you walk out of the store that you do something.
Right.
Don't just walk away and say, oh, this is a great event, I feel good about it, I enjoyed it, but you walk out and you do something. Just one thing, whether you tell somebody about it, you encourage one other girl, if you just do one thing.
Okay, very good. I like it. Anybody else? Yes?
I think one of the most important things like this is education for women.
Education for women?
So to be conditions and big for babies, to be, as we were talking about earlier, to be sort of helpful and not forceful and not resilient. So I think education is most important because it'll stop this.
Right.
If we keep telling this to ourselves, it'll stop this.
Thanks. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes?
I would take away that it's okay to be confident in our abilities and the things that we have.
Thank you very much. It's okay to be confident. It's actually okay to be a rock star if you want. Okay? This has been great fun. Thank you to all the presenters. Thank you to all the attendees. I haven't had this kind of meaningful conversations with young women in a long time, and it's really powerful stuff. Gale, I'm in anytime you want to have anything else like this, and I'll let you kiss them goodbye.
Christian Fields, I wouldn't dare close this up without.
Oh, and thanks to the governor too for.
You guys give her a hand. As we kick off the inaugural event for the Women's and Girls Initiative, I think it's absolutely imperative that, there's been a handing over. This was a baby I cared for such a long, long time. And to see this happen today, my heart is really full, and I'm so grateful for everybody participating today. I thank my great staff who heard me just running around scurrying. Believe it or not, this is my real personality. I like who I am, so I want to make sure I leave with that. It took me a long time to like me. I know what it's like to be bullied and all of those things. It's just so wonderful to see all of you willing to give your time to make sure these young girls will have an outstanding future. As we were closing, I pulled a note and I was just writing this. No, I want you to stay. And I was thinking today, and I like my closing comment to be, is that I release you today to go forward and to be fearless and ambitious. And then I thought about the word release. Listen what it says. It said release means to allow or to enable to escape from confinement, to be set free. So I'm going to say this again, now that you know the definition. I release you today to go forward and be fearless and ambitious. What a great statement. I love it. I just kind of thought it through, and I'm grateful for this opportunity today to stand before you. So the Council for Women, we are the state's leading voice on key issues impacting the lives of women. And not every family will be impacted by domestic violence and sexual assault, particularly yours. No teen dating violence, no cyberbullying, or any of those things anymore. So Kristen's going to be our chair for the North Carolina Council for Women, Women and Girls Initiative. So I shared with her when we talked, listen, you've got a passion for this just like I do. And because she has a passion for it, I know that it'll not die, but it'll live on forever and ever and ever. And so, Kristen, we want to thank you and the governor and the first lady for allowing us to come today and make all this transition, move everything around, sit on the porch. I mean, we pulled this thing off in a few days. She did. And she said, I think this is a great place to have an inaugural event. But what we're really excited about is that it'll impact you girls' lives, and your life won't ever be the same. And I shared with you, and with Kristen, I said many of the ladies are not from Raleigh and Durham and Triangle area, that they'll never have an opportunity to see the governor or be in the governor's mansion, because I grew up in rural North Carolina and I knew that was not the case. So I was at all myself when I showed up a few months ago, and they allowed us to come in. So thank you, ladies, for coming. We appreciate it. We've got to be out of here in a couple of minutes. Christian, is there anything you'd like to share?
I'm absolutely in awe of everyone that's here and everything that you've already accomplished and what you're going to accomplish. And also, I think that it's so important, as everyone's already said, you keep making those connections and you keep sharing what you did today, and also bringing back those connections to us so that we can, when we do have big conferences, we can invite all of those women that you went out and talked to even this afternoon about what you learned today. And we're so thankful. We have been, as she said, we have been little worker bees trying to throw this together and moving the event here and getting the governor involved, and just so that you all could meet him today. So I know that it's his honor to meet you all and to see what you have already accomplished, because it's just as I'm in awe when he looks up and sees all the middle school, all the high school faces, everyone, all the women, and what you all have already done. It makes him so happy. So we're just, Thank you.
event, and then we were told that after